Hello again everybody and welcome back to Fujitsu Blitz, and we're still on the aces of the week. This time we're looking at the Tier 8 ace, and if any of you are familiar with the Viz comic, there is actually a character called 8 Ace. There he is in the bottom right hand corner. Now this video is not about drunken northerners, no, it's about tanks in Tier 8. And first off, we've got a good friend of mine, SkunkBear, from the clan FTC1. Yay, my clan. Rolling out in the OP VK 101P, the German Tier 8 Heavy on the EU server. Now, I love this tank. The chances are that it's going to get a nerf, because if you look at the stats on this thing, the win rates are just obscene. It's got one of the highest win rates in Blitz currently. That normally suggests that Wargaming, who are looking at all their stats, will eventually nerf it to oblivion. Well, they won't nerf it to oblivion, that's just taking it too far. They will nerf it though. Something will be changed. No idea what. But whilst it is OP, it's only OP if you know how to play it. The armor is not mouse armor. It's heavily armored, don't get me wrong, especially the front. But if you overturn this thing and over angle it, those side skirts, especially the top of the side skirts, become very easily penetrable. Now the other disadvantage it has an excessively long reload, especially if you've got the bigger gun in it. It dishes out a lot of pain, don't get me wrong, but you've got to wait eternity for that pain to be dished. I mean, whilst you're reloading, you can go off and have a nice cup of tea and come back and you'll still be reloading. But that's not the point. I mean, this tank is effectively a super heavy. It's the Tier 8 that eventually leads to the mouse. So it's meant to be in the same vein as a mouse, and it's meant to be the Tier 8 equivalent of that tank. So you're meant to be sticking in harm's way, and you're meant to be absorbing all these shots coming at you. Like the mouse, you're not going to have the best gun in the world. Now this gun, however, is pretty fantastic. It's just the aim time is pretty meh. But aside from that, boy, you can dish out some pain in this thing. You know, for a Tier 8 tank, and a Tier 8 heavy tank at that, you're getting some really high rolls. And as you can see here with SkunkBear, I mean, he's already bounced 1500 and he's dished out 1300 damage. And don't forget, guys, this is Tier 8. Okay, somebody's put a shot into him, but look at his hit points. I mean, it's hardly dented it. That's the thing about this tank, and that's why this tank is OP. Because if you know how to angle it, if you know its mechanics, you can be pretty invincible on the battlefield, to be perfectly honest with you. So my advice to you, if you're trying to get an ace on this thing, or you've just grinded this thing and you haven't really rolled out on it proper yet, get out there, guys, because trust me, I reckon Wargaming are going to nerf this thing very, very shortly. May not be in the next update, but it'll be in the update after that. I mean, I don't work for Wargaming. I have no press access and no press account, but looking at the stats on this thing, they're going to nerf it. So get your backsides in this tank and get out there before that happens. Enjoy it while you can. Anyway, back to SkunkBear. He's now done over 2,500 damage and he's bounced over 2,000 shots. I mean, this is why this tank is obscene. And I love this tank, to be perfectly frank, because I like super heavies anyway. But this one just brings something different to the Tier 8 scenario. Now, Tier 8 to me is not my favorite tier, I must admit. But this tank, I'll always roll out in this tank at Tier 8. Not only that, I've also taken it out in tournaments, because it's a fantastic tank. You know, if you know how to play it, you really are invincible. It's like your Fortress VK. And knowing if you've got the right support and you know your team is playing with you, you will just roll everybody up. It's that simple. It's bringing a breath of Tier 10 to Tier 8, and that's why I love it. And you know, SkunkBear's now done over 3,000 in damage, and no doubt he's loving it too. And this is a fantastic game, and this is how you play the VK, guys. You know, you go around and you just put it in harm's way, and look at this, he's bounced 2,200. It's obscene, really. But this is why the tank is so great, and I just can't overemphasize it enough. This is a beautiful tank, guys. And it's a really good addition. When they brought these new lines out in the previous updates, you had this, you had the Mausch, and you had the VK. This is the best of all three, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I like the Mausch as well. The VK is a bit, I mean, it's an awful tank, especially at tier 10. This is just a dream tank. It really, really is. I mean, this is the epitome of being a bully. He has just bullied his way through this entire battle. 4,500 damage, 3 kills, 2,220 blocked. I mean, it's just wrong. It's rude, I tells you. But this tank is just fantastic. And if you haven't got it, get it. And if you've got it and you haven't played it much, play it more before they nerf it. And if you've played it a lot, play it even more. Get the ace. Get out there. Because this tank is just joyful to play. Well, it is for me anyway. A lot of people may not like it. They like mediums or lights or TDs. Me, this is my favorite tier 8. And, you know, once they nerf it, it may no longer be my favorite, but it's my favorite tier 8. Wow. 4,620 odd damage, 2,200 blocks, a well-deserved mastery, 4 kills, and look, surprising, he got a steel wall. That is a fantastic game. And I'd really like to thank my good friend SkunkBear of FTC1, yay, for kindly sharing that amazing replay with us. Mate, you deserve that ace. Next up, another good friend of mine, DayAfterKill, of the clan PGDD, rolling out in the Louvre, the German tier 8 premium heavy, again on the EU server. Now, I'm not going to go into much details about this tank. In fact, if you click the top right hand corner little bar thing coming up, you'll see my review on the Louvre. This is a really difficult tank to get a mastery in. Oh, I will kid you not. It's very difficult to get this mastery. Just have a sip of coffee. The reason being is because this tank is an old tank. It's one of the first premiums to ever come out, and it's been nerfed and buffed and nerfed and buffed over the years. It is a great tank, but again, you gotta know how to play it. The armor is that typical Tiger 2 type armor. It's very trolly. If you put it in the right place, you'll bounce everything. If you get the angle slightly wrong, everybody will pen you. The gun, well, it's got a longish reload, but it's nothing to moan about, and it dishes out some pretty good damage. It's a nice tank, but it's a tricky tank to get to grips with. Once you know its mechanics, it's a pleasure to drive. It's a bit slow, it's a bit cumbersome, but it is a borderline super heavy. It's actually a heavy, but it's borderline super heavy. Now, the thing about it is, as I said, it's a really tricky tank to get an ace in. I know people who've played this tank thousands of games and never got an ace. I know people who've played this tank 10 games and got an ace. And DayAfterKill is going to show you exactly how you should be looking to get this ace. So far, he's dished out 2,123 damage, and he's bounced just over 1,000. Now he's taken his first kill. He's now dished out 2,300 damage. And as you can see, he is side-scraping off this bunker. Now, you can side-scrape in the Louvre. Don't get me wrong, of course you can. I mean, there's 1,500 reasons that DayAfterKill has shown you why you should be sort of side-scraping in the Louvre. You can do it, and it's a great tank once you know its angles, as I say. And dealing with the gun is the tricky part. Oh, look at that, another bounce this time from the VK. And now he's side-scraping off a rock. So, it goes to show you can side-scrape off most things, as long as you know how to. And this is what you should be doing in this tank, guys. Kill number 2. Just over 3,000 damage. So you should be looking at side-scraping it. You should be looking at playing it like a true bully heavy. And you should be utilizing that gun as much as you can. He's now bounced 2,400. I mean, that is just amazing. And he's dished out 3,200 in damage. There's only 3 tanks left. He's capped no base. He's on supremacy. But he's been in the thick of it from day... Oh, look at that. 4,000 damage now. And he's been wasted. That's it. He's dead. He's gone. He's no more. And, you know, this happens in the Louvre. You will get wasted. But look at this damage. Over 4,000 damage. He's blocked 2,400 shots. I mean, that is just spectacular. That is an amazing mastery. It really, really is. And it's, you know, it's lovely to see somebody get a mastery on a Louvre. That's a well-deserved mastery, my friend, and a big shout out to DayAfterKill for kindly sharing that replay with us. Next up, with the Globonaut of the clan OVA, rolling out in the M4190 Cruel Twist, the German Tier 8 premium light tank, again on the EU server. Now, this is a lovely tank. It is a lovely tank. It's basically a bulldog, but it's a German bulldog. And of course, it's a tier higher, because the bulldog is a Tier 7 tank. With the bulldog variant at Tier 8 being the T49, and this is not a T49, but it does have an increased gun. That's the difference. This has a better gun than the bulldog. Like the bulldog, like the T49, and like those type of American light tanks, this thing loves being mobile. In fact, if you stand still in it, then you're in for a world of pain, because its armor is pants. I mean, it has no armor to think about. And if anybody's driven the T49 or the bulldog, then you'll know it's got pants armor. This has, however, got a fantastic gun. It's got the American engine, which is pretty good, the T49 Bulldog mobility, which is spectacular, and a German super accurate gun. That is one of the reasons why this tank is special. I mean, it really is a great tank. I love this tank. I'm not, as you know, I'm not overly keen on Tier 8, but I love this tank. You have the ability to bring something different to Tier 8. You've got the mobility of the T49 with a super duper gun. It really is a super gun, guys. So far he's done 720, he hasn't killed anything, but he's been in the thick of it, as you can see. Look at this, I mean, look at the mobility on this thing. He gets up that hill, gets side onto that AT-15, and the AT-15 is in a world of hurt now, and that's, you know, he's gone, he's short, he's all over. And I bet he didn't think that when he started the game. He thought, oh, I'm in an AT-15, everybody's, you know, look, and the Borsig's given up. What a shame. Sorry, the Waffle Cracker's given up. What a shame. He knew that it was all over for him, apart from the crying. And tanks are going quickly and surely here. Now he's done 1,300, taken 2 kills. And look at the speed on this. He almost got to the top of that mound there. It was optimistic, but you never know with the engine on this thing. I mean, the engine on this thing, the mobility on this thing, it really is to die for. It's no different, as I said, to the T49 M41 Bulldog. You are able to do a lot of stuff with the mobility in this. And as you've seen, Globonaut has not kept this tank stationary at all. I mean, he's just been tearing it round the battlefield, giving everybody an absolute nightmare of a game. And that's what you need to do in these tanks, guys. You know, don't camp in it, don't YOLO in it. I mean, you saw there, he never YOLO'd once. You also saw that he avoided taking any caps. There's only nothing left. He's done exactly 2,126 damage. He's got patrol duty, spotter, scouter, everything else, and the well-deserved mastery. I'd like to thank Globonaut of OVA for kindly sharing that with us. It was well-deserved. Last, but by no means least, very good friend of mine, Major Easy from the clan BTSV, rolling out in the 047 Hybrid Nation Premium Medium Tank. Okay, so this is a fantasy tank, and actually I don't have this tank in my garage, but a lot of people do and a lot of people like it. Yeah, looking at the stats, this is basic stats, stock stats. I mean, it's got HP of 1350, it's got a view range of just over 290 meters, firepower on your standard AP, you're going to be dishing out about a mediocre 2,258 with penetration of 190, and you'd be dishing out high damage of 225. If you stick the heat in, you get 260 pen, and you only do damage of 190. If you put your HE in, your damage goes up to 270. Your rate of fire is about 10 rounds a minute, which means you've got a reload of just shy of 6 seconds. Aim time is below 2 seconds, and the gun depression is a worrying 8 degrees. Speed-wise, well, it's actually not that bad. You can get about 55 out of it going forwards and 20 going backwards. And as you can see here, you know, the armor profile isn't too bad if you know how to play it. Now, like I said, I don't have this tank, so I don't really know how to play it because I've never played it. But Major Easy decided to roll out in it, and he sent me the email saying he hasn't rolled out in this thing for a while, and he really enjoyed it, and he forgot how much fun this tank can be. And like I said, I don't have it, so I don't know how much fun it was, but I've seen this replay, and it does look like a really funky, fun tank. Okay, so it's got massive ears like Dumbo the Flying Elephant, but does that matter? I mean, it's a mix between, it looks like somebody stuck a TIE fighter on top of the turret to Dumbo the Elephant. It's a very bizarre thing. Although it does look like a samurai. It's got that massive spotlight as well, a bit like the M60's got on its thing. But look at that, I mean, that's a good bounce. He's bounced, look at this, look at this. Look at the mobility's not bad. And he's given that poor tank a real hard time. And he's still bouncing. And let's go disappear, will you? he's plowing shots in. I mean, the reload time isn't too bad. As I say, oh, and he finally clears the Panther. The reload time isn't too bad. Okay, it's a bizarre looking tank. I mean, I don't know what it looks like, realistically. TIE Fighter, Dumbo, Samurai Warrior? You tell me, because I don't know. But it looks funky. It plays funky. I mean, Major Ease is having a whale of a time here. He's dished over 1,700. He's bounced shy of 400, but he's having fun, and that's the main idea of the game, guys. You know, a lot of people complain about the fantasy tanks. A lot of people say, oh, I don't like the fantasy tanks. They're rubbish. They don't belong in the game. It's a game, guys. It's not a World War II simulator. It's not a tank simulator. It's a game. And you know, fantasy tanks bring something different to the game. Okay, it's ugly as sin, I must admit. I just find it very a bizarre looking tank. But he's now done over 2,000 damage, he's taken 2 kills, and he's still having fun. You know, that's the thing. Just chill out a little bit. Who cares if it's a fantasy tank? Who cares if it doesn't exist in real life? Who cares? It's a game. As long as you have fun, and as long as you go out there and do your best, nobody can take that away from you. And this is why I love this game. I love the fact that Major Easy went out in this tank, because I very rarely get replays of tanks like this, and it brings something different to the videos. I mean, everybody's probably seen one. Not everybody's got one, because as I said, it was a premium tank, and I haven't seen it on sale for a while now. In fact, I can't even remember when it went on, how you got it, because as I said, I've never had it. And you know, it just brings something different. It's better than having shed loads of louvers, IS-6s or KVs or IS-5s. It's something different, and it's light-hearted, and it's nice that people go out in these tanks and have fun, because as I said, that's what it's all about. I mean, it's been a fantastic game. I've just loved watching this replay. Just over 3,000 damage, only bounced 380, but hey, a well-deserved mastery, 3 kills. I mean, that's just a perfect game. Anyway, I'd like to thank everybody who supplied their replays this week, so big thanks go out to SkunkBear, DayAfterKill, Globonaut, and Major Easy. Thanks, guys, for sharing your replays. If you've got some decent aces or decent replays, send them, please, to the usual address, fujitsblitz@gmail.com. Please subscribe, please like and comment, and until the next time, stay safe out there, guys. Have fun on the battlefield and happy tanking, because that's what it's all about. Take a leaf out of Major Easy's book. Have fun and be happy. There's no point getting super serious all the time with this game. It's just a game, guys. Just enjoy it. And as long as you do the best you can, that's all that matters.